Hello and welcome everyone for today's session. I'm your host today. My name is Stephanie, and we will be talking about how to fix and style a boring website. But before that, I'd like to introduce myself. Of course, that's me and my daughter there. She was only two there. I am a mom to this 4-year-old daughter. She's four now. That photo, she was only 2 years old. And I came from the Philippines and moved to New Zealand and now living in New Zealand. I moved to New Zealand in 2015 with my partner at the time. And I had a banking background back in the Philippines, and I've changed career when I moved here and became a fashion stylist for retail industry. For women, I used to style women with how they look because of my passion for fashion. And then in July 2019, I became a single mom, and that is when I started my business. I just want to tell you a little bit quickly about my journey. That when after I got separated, I wanted to earn something for both of us, for me and myself, for myself and my daughter. But I could not bear the idea of working a 9 to 5 job while she was still 2 years old, and I just want to spend as much time as I have with her. So that's when I started and focused my business and building my business while I was on benefit and on a casual job. So let's start for today's topic, the struggle of the common struggle as a business owner. And for today's example, we'll be just using my most recent client, who is Karina. She said that when I met her, her struggle was the look and feel of her website. It wasn't necessarily reflecting her business values. And after working together and launching a new website, the outcome was that she became proud of her own website, and she's so confident sharing it to her sponsors and future prospects. And it has generated higher conversion rate. So for today's topic, I just want to use this scenario. What happened in the middle? Like, how did she come from the struggle point to the outcome point? So for today's session, 5 ways to fix a boring website. I hope you can learn something to get through to that outcome that you really, really want, right? So first, the reason why your site is boring is that it looks inauthentic and it doesn't connect to your dream clients. And it just look like, sometimes people use website templates and it feels like not really looking like them. So the style fix for this is to first define who you are, define your brand style, right? And to make it easy for you, I know my branding process is so much more comprehensive than this, but as a tip, so you can DIY it, is to I'll give you tips before, but I forgot to mention about this. Let's kind of like learn something from these definitions that I've curated for this today's session. So style, the definition of a style is a distinctive appearance. We know this like, because each one of us have our own style of dressing up, style of talking, style of coaching, style of talking, style of teaching, style of learning. So, we know that word, right? So the next one is brand image. So technically, what your logo is not really your image. So your brand image is more like the subjective perspective of a customer towards your brand, and your brand identity is the visual expression of your brand. And as a result, you have your brand as a result of your branding efforts. And brand styling is this is the branding process, and it involves the art of combining all these design elements to create a brand, to communicate your message that you want to put out there to the world, right? So the end result is your brand, and there's also this brand style guide. So your brand style guide is this is a rule book. It's like a guide, a guidebook that specifies the aspect of the look and feel of your brand. This consists of your fonts, your colors, your logos, and yeah, your brand visuals, right? So what that's like is okay, so how to define your style in the easy way. First one is to describe your brand personality and vibe using adjectives. So you can pick, like, there's so many more descriptions or adjectives out there. This is just a few that I've listed here. You pick 3, no more than 5 adjectives that describe your brand. So it could be either just a personality or a vibe. So for me, that would be, I would pick elegant, feminine, and classic. And after that, you want to create or translate the descriptions you have done into a mood board. So that what that's like is you create this if you pick luxurious, you think of things that symbolizes that luxury. So for example, you could be using animal print. What else feels luxurious? Animal print, gold textures, gold colors, or what else? Like these expensive brands, like the Valentino or Louboutin shoes, or Chanel bags, Chanel perfume. So because I wanted an elegant, classic, and feminine, I've used these inspirations for me. And on the other side, you could see here that with these descriptions, serene, calm, natural, the beach, the beach, the waters, the waves, and yeah, it's just you want to make sure they're kind of like cohesive in a way, so you could pull up those colors from that description, from that mood board, right? So that what that likes is, for example, this one, this thing, this page is from my most recent client. I have, this is the about page. So with the style guide, the new style guide that we were able to convert this about page into this on the right. So that's just one way to style a website, to make it look, with colors and with the intentional use of colors, of course. And with her, she described her brand to be calming, modern, and elegant. So there's 2 types of brand style guides. There's this basic one that just includes like a mood board, color palette, fonts, and logo identity and other design elements. And the other one is a more comprehensive brand style guide, includes more deeper, that involves like who's your target market, mission, purpose and values, your mood, personality, logo identity, logo variations, color palette, font selection, and website design if necessary. So this is more so that's why branding price ranges. So now you have an idea. But anyway, I'm not here to sell you my branding packages. I'm just here to talk about how you can style a boring website using branding. The second reason why your site is boring is that you are not using color psychology. And the style fix for that, of course, is to understand color psychology. And let's have a look. What are the meanings of colors? So this is just a few or quick look. You can do your own research on what's the meaning behind these colors. I also have a book somewhere. As a designer, I use a book. What's that book called? Color Meanings. Pantone by Color Harmony and Color Meanings, something like that. So if you describe your brand as dependable, rugged, trustworthy, then you would want to be using brown. Or if you were talking about compassion, sincerity, and sophistication, and sweet, the sweet part is the the keyword for that, pink. And for me, that would be the red, because I love I'm passionate. I want to portray excitement. I want a standout website. That's why, yeah, colors have these meanings behind them. So you want to be using these to attract your dream clients. So the next one is color personality. They do have personalities as well. Colors do have personalities. So for purples and sensitive, that means it's for sensitive, supportive, and gentle. And for me, as a red one, that's passionate and ambitious and determined. So that's me. So you want to be clear on your descriptions so you could match the right color for your brand. You don't pick the colors first and define it, right? So you define it first, and then you pick the right design elements, colors, fonts, and any other styles for your website. The next one is, this is the fun part. You can also use a color seasonal theory. And there's spring, summer, winter, and autumn. So this is more like a general description. You can be both, like maximum of two. Like it can be spring and summer, or autumn and summer, or summer and winter. So for me, I'm pretty sure I'll be summer. And at the same time, I think autumn. Yeah, kind of, but definitely summer. So there's some I've the spring, the fun and friendly, because they use bright, bold colors, really bold, and yeah, this could be confusing. This is what fashion really used, the color seasonal theory. When I used to do fashion, we would describe women based on their skin tones, hair, eyes, and match the perfect wardrobe based on their season. That was fun, actually. Anyway, the next one I'll be talking is, this is the third one. The third reason why your website layout, the reason why your site is boring, is that your website layout is hard to navigate. Like, I don't know, some websites are just kind of like hiding the answers to my questions. So if they can't find the answers to their questions, they navigate away from your website. So you want to make sure that the layout of your website has lots of white space and easy to find the information that they need, like packages, services that you do, pricing, and FAQs, and everything they need to know. Let's get deeper on website layout standards. So there is kind of like a website design standards by these. This is like a study on the top 50 marketing websites, and they found out that the logo has to be, the common users, like, I know this beautiful design is really nice, but you gotta work out with what is what people are used to, right? So if people are used to looking logos on the top left, then you want to do that as well. So, and so the orange ones are the most important ones. Value proposition up high, navigation in the header, so yeah, it has to be up, not at the bottom. Social media icons on the footer. It has to be responsive web design is also important. And there's also this website web design principles. So with the web design principles, this is a principle, the law of visual hierarchy, that in design, if you want to highlight something, then you want to be using large text, this one, versus small text. So, and the positioning. So if you want to emphasize this, then it has to be on top of the page. So these are just the principles as a designer, these are the web design principles that I swear by, that I use on my website designs. Because following this, this will make a great design for your website. So you want to make sure that you're using lots of white space and not overcrowd your website. And yeah, the next one is homepage structure. So I'm just going to be sharing a quick tip of like how to structure a high converting homepage. So there's like some sections that you could use for your homepage. The first one is, of course, you put the navigation on top, right? And in that navigation top, there is this hero section. What is a hero section? So this part here, the social media management, the cover photo there, that is the first thing that you see when you land on a website. That is called the hero section, or it's above the fold. So whatever they see here, you want to make sure that you put what you do and who you serve right away, so they know what exactly your website is all about. And then, of course, selling is about finding your clients' problems and then providing them a solution, right? So with the pain point section, you want to make sure that they can relate to you. So for example, there's for social media managers, for example, the reason why they're providing their services is that they're helping small business owners free up some time. And like small business owners are so busy and they tend to forget to post and not be consistent on social media. So they're helping to take over some of that stress from small business owners. So no time for social media, and then you describe their problem, and then that's the time to pitch your service. What are your services to help them? So either Instagram marketing, Facebook advertising. So that's the service section. And the next one is calls to action. Calls to action is something that is related to your website goal and purpose. What do you want these people to do? Either read your blog, see your sign up for your mailing list, like sign up for your freebie that you're offering, or anything. It could be anything. But the call to action section is this, exactly, the black one. But also call to action are also the buttons and spread across your homepage. So when you're saying this one, you always have to put learn more or check out this page. So across your homepage, you want to be seeing like this one, get to know me, and that will link to your about page. And of course, you can add testimonials and blog and portfolio for credibility. And lastly, the footer section that summarizes your website structure. So that will be your navigation and social links at the bottom. So yeah, I hope I'm not talking too fast here. And because I just want to add so much value. So this is number 4. The fourth reason why your website is boring is that your photos don't communicate your value. And the style fix for that is to choose photos that truly reflect your brand, right? So let's come to this example. So there's always there's a big difference between using stock photos versus custom photos. And based on, if you want to have an effective marketing, I would highly recommend using your own photos, custom photos. And because as a service provider, assuming I'm talking to service providers in this video, it's so important to show up online. Show your face. I know there are some people who don't want to show up their face. Me, for example, I don't like showing my face live. So I invested on, I used to buy a lot of stock photos for my website, and it didn't quite feel like, it felt like, it looked like everybody else out there because they bought the same stock photo from this provider, like, I don't know, hot stock or social style stock. So because a lot of people are using them already, it felt inauthentic. So that's when I started investing in a photographer to have my own photos. And what that meant is that I have increased my personal branding. Like my brand has I up level it in that area because people could feel the connection. Using my photos, they could see my personality. So that's the advantage there. Using stock photos could feel like you have a generic website, whereas using your own photos could feel like they could get drawn to you, how you look with those photos. They could form what do you call this, I forgot the word, perception, impression of you. They could form an impression of you that you're friendly. If you pick those best photos that really portray your brand. So that's very important there. And lastly is to have a clear message. The reason why it's boring is because you don't have a clear message. What is it that you're telling? What makes you, what makes you, what makes you different? And the style fix for that is to have this USP, unique selling point. What is your core message that differentiates you from everybody else? So your assignment is to ask yourself these questions. Who are you? What makes you different? What is it about you or your brand that they will remember? And a lot of personal brands use personality to differentiate themselves from others, unique selling points. And yeah, if you work on all of these, then this is something that they will remember about you. So let's have a recap. I'll just move myself in the middle. Maybe I'll move myself over there. So the first one, why it's the problem, let's just say problem, but the problem why it's boring is that it looks inauthentic and doesn't connect to your dream clients. The fix for that is to define your brand style. And the second one, you're not using color psychology. And the fix is, of course, to understand color psychology. And if your website is hard to navigate, then fix that with using a strategic website layout. And your photos are just too generic, and you want to make sure, this I just copied there, should be something that you put photos that show some personality. And lastly is to have a clear message. Yes, so there you have it. I hope that you've learned something from this session. And again, I want to reiterate that what makes a website successful is that it attracts your dream clients. That's number one. The second one is it guides them straight to your services that you offer, right? They don't get lost to anything that whatever if your website is not clear. The third one is collect contact details. So that's the freebie and email sign up is so important. So you grow your email list and then notify them whenever you have some ongoing webinar, freebie, or future promotions. So that's it. And my pitch for today after learning this is something that would help you to visually plan your website. And this is why I created a website design that is editable in Canva. So what you get in this is, because you sign up for this webinar, you will have access to an early bird pricing of $47. Normal price is $97 US. So since you joined me here, I am giving it away for $47. You have an instant, you will get it, and you will have it's a 4-page design, and you can plug and play. I'll show you what it's like. So this is the design. This is just a demo. Whatever was in the design, you will get it straight. It's not going to be like that. So it's not, so what it's like, it's a wireframe, but this is not what you get. So this is called a wireframe. This is just a layout. So it's a backbone. So for your website to work, you still have to prepare main things, which are your branding. That's your one. That's your first thing to prepare. You decide on how your brand is gonna look.